I've scored and ranked a total of 12 open earbuds, and nothing is joining in on the fun with the Ear Open. Retail price is $149 US. So today I'll be covering a total of 10 categories, and you can customize the scoring with my free spreadsheet linked below, but I'll explain more about that later. So here's my current leaderboard. The Bose Ultra Open in the first spot, but it's super close between the top 7 earbuds. But let's get into category 1, comfort. And a quick disclaimer, this is how all the buds fit me and my pretty giant ears. But the ergonomics here are spot on. You get a super thin ear hook with a soft silicone finish, and it's a pretty compact bud with nice weight distribution. So after like a couple of minutes, it feels like you're wearing nothing. Nothing jokes have started. But I'm scoring them a 10 out of 10 here. This comfort is on par with the Shox Open Fit. They also have a very lightweight ergonomic design. And I do have the Bose Ultra Open up there as well. They do have that hook-on design, so a little bit different, but they're also a kind of fit where it feels like you're not wearing anything. Now, category 2 is the security of the fit. And with that wing combined with the solid weight distribution, these buds are going to lock in place. They're going to work great when running. The biggest benefit of this style is that you can hear your surroundings as well as not wearing any earbuds at all. And compared to a normal in-ear bud, you won't hear any body-borne noise from the impact you make on the ground or your own heavy breathing reverberating through an ear tip. So I'm scoring the Ear Open a 9 out of 10. The earbuds that have that extra half point allow you to adjust the size of the wingtip so they're moldable. And the Soundcore AeroFit Pro also includes a neckband attachment, so a small bonus there. And all these small details for all the earbuds are in my spreadsheet linked below. Now, category 3 is the dust and water resistant rating. So I'm scoring the Ear Open a 10 out of 10. Some earbuds do give you a waterproof rating, but they're missing the dust resistance, so it really depends on what you're looking for here. Now, category 4 is case and battery life. Now this is a tricky one to score because it depends if you want like a more compact earbud and less battery life, or you don't mind a larger case and larger total battery life. But the Ear Open gives you a solid middle ground, so you get 8 hours with the earbuds and 30 hours in total with the case. Chuck the earbuds in the case for 10 minutes and you'll get 2 hours of playback. Now the case isn't the most compact overall. That still goes to the Bose Ultra Open, but you can see it's a much thicker case. So the Ear Open is by far the thinnest case, and when it comes to being the most pocketable, you want the thinnest case possible. So here it is compared to the Soundcore AeroFit, which used to be the thinnest case that I've tested. And the Ear Open, by far the coolest looking case. I'm definitely a fan of Nothing's design. Now you don't get wireless charging, but this is incredibly rare for open earbuds for some reason. The only bud with wireless charging is the One More Fit S50. So they're getting an overall score of 8 out of 10. Because if you don't mind having a more chunky earbud, some of these buds go up to 19 hours with the earbuds. And if you don't mind a larger case, you can get up to 60 hours in total. So again, depends on what you like there. But now onto category 5, controls. So you get squeeze controls here, which gives you a nice click feedback. You get a single, double, triple tap, a long hold, as well as a squeeze and hold. So you're able to control everything, including voice assistant, as well as volume up and down. And you're able to customize the left or right earbud, but you're a little bit limited. Having the option to add in a squeeze and hold gives you some freedom. So for example, you could have the left earbud with a long hold being volume down and a tap and hold being volume up, basically allowing you to control volume, track forward, and play and pause on the one earbud. Now you don't get wearing detection here, but this is also just a rare feature for open earbuds because you can't really do it because it's open. So the only bud that has this is the One More Fit S50 because they sort of use like an ear tip, but it's like an open ear tip. So if you want wearing detection, the S50 is the only bud to have it. And they only give you a double and triple tap, so the Ear Open is getting a score of 8.5. The only reason the Oladance OWS Pro has a higher score is that they also incorporate a swipe gesture for volume up and down, combined with squeeze control, so you're able to control everything, including volume up and down, when using just one earbud. Now, category 6 is connectivity. So you just get Bluetooth 5.3 here, as well as SBC and AAC. No high-res codecs, which I think is honestly fine. If you haven't checked out my high-res codec video, I'll link it up here, check it out. But you are getting multi-point connection, so you can connect 2 devices to the earbuds at the same time. You just need to pause playback on one device before you play it on the other device for that audio to kick in. And it usually takes about 3 to 5 seconds, so it's a bit on the slower side. And you also get a low latency gaming mode here, which is definitely useful if you're into quick reaction games like shooters, because with it off, there's quite a noticeable amount of latency. This was tested on an iPhone 15 Pro. So chuck it on, it brings the latency down to a pretty suitable level for quick reaction games like shooters. Still not amazing though. But with all of this, they're getting a score of 8.5 out of 10. Those high-ranked earbuds do give you high-res codecs. Not that it really matters though. And a lot of those earbuds also have multi-point takeover. So when you have 2 devices connected to the earbuds, you don't need to pause your playback. It'll automatically pause for you on the other device. Now, category 7 is call quality, and I run through 3 tests here: a quiet room, simulation crowd noise, and a simulation windy city with construction noise. Now, open earbuds aren't known for the best call quality, but Nothing always seems to have some of the best call quality in terms of in-ear earbuds, and that continues with the ear open. They're getting the highest score of 8 out of 10. Now, you can't mute your microphone when you're on a call using the touch controls, but you can't do this for most of the earbuds. But now I'm going to compare them to the One More Fit S50, which are one of the highest ranked when it comes to call quality. All right, here's the call quality of the One More Fit S50 in a quiet room. All right, here's the call quality of the Nothing Ear Open in a quiet room. All right, now let's see how the microphones block out some simulation crowd noise. All right, here's the One More Fit S50 with some simulation crowd noise. All right, here is the Nothing Ear Open with some simulation crowd noise. All right, now I have some city noise, construction noise, and some simulation wind. All right, here's a One More Fit S50 with some city noise, construction noise, and simulation wind. All right, here's a Nothing Ear Open with some city noise, construction noise, and some simulation wind. All right, category 8 is app customization and extra features. Now I'll touch on everything here and go into a bit more detail later. So you can get the Nothing X app on iOS or Android. And out of all the brands that I've tested, Nothing has the smoothest and cleanest running app. So the homepage has your earbud battery and the case battery if the earbuds are in your case. You get 3 EQ presets, as well as a simple 3-band EQ and the advanced 9-band EQ with Q factor adjustment and frequency adjustment. You also have quick access to your control customization on the homepage. And that settings tab on the top right will have your extra features like your low latency toggle, your connected devices, and Find My Earbuds will emit a beep from your buds if you've misplaced them. And that's everything you get, so they're getting a score of 8.5 out of 10. The OLEDance Pro only has that extra half point because they actually have noise cancelling as their extra feature. It's very light noise cancelling, but it's still kind of cool for an open earbud. And the advanced EQ, it's cool to have, but for an open earbud, it's not going to be as useful as you think. As we talk about sound quality, which is going to be our final 2 rounds here, sound quality below 60% volume and above 60% volume. But there's 2 major things to cover before we talk about the sound. First is how the fit of the earbud massively affects the sound quality. Since these buds don't use an ear tip, basically the closer the driver is to your ear canal, the fuller the sound will be. So your ear shape and size is going to massively affect how the earbud sounds. So the sound explanation here is for how all these earbuds fit me and my sort of above average sized ears. And the second thing to mention here is that when it comes to sound quality, you need to bring your expectations down massively because there's no seal here, you don't have an ear tip, so the drivers are working overtime to push out a full rich sound, and especially when it comes to bass, you're just getting nowhere near the amount you would get with any earbud with an ear tip. You also don't get sound quality close to a semi-in-ear earbud like AirPods. All right, now that's out of the way, let's start with volume here. Now, I don't recommend cranking your earbuds at high volumes, but with an open ear design, if you're in a noisy environment, sometimes you do need more volume because you don't have a seal blocking out your external environment. So you're getting plenty of volume here. They're one of the louder earbuds on this ranking. Where buds like the Soundpeats Go Free 2 and Soundcore AeroFit, I find might not go loud enough if you're in a pretty noisy environment. Now, when it comes to sound leakage, this is just inevitable with an open earbud. When you start going past like 40, 50% volume, the person next to you is gonna pretty clearly hear what you're listening to. But I am noticing slightly less sound leakage on the ear open, and this is something that Nothing actually focused on with their design. They call it the Sound Seal System. So they use reverse sound waves at the rear of the acoustic port, which superimposes the front port. Sounds fancy, at least it does reduce the sound leakage a little bit, but again, it's an open earbud, there's gonna be sound leakage either way. But now onto how these buds sound. Like I said, I'm breaking it down to 2 categories, below 60% volume and above 60% volume, because some buds might be really good at low volumes, but not great at those high volumes. So open earbuds can take advantage at lower volumes to be able to push out more bass, since it requires less power for those drivers to basically minimize distortion. And Nothing takes full advantage at these lower volumes. You're getting a full rich sound and decent bass response, so they're getting a 9.5 out of 10. So you get a decent amount of bass here, pretty much no sub bass. You don't really get any sub bass on any open earbud, except for the Bose Ultra Open. You get a little bit of sub bass on them on like the first 3-4 clicks of volume, so very quiet there. So again, like I said, you bring your expectations down for open earbuds. It's mainly gonna be like mid bass and like not really sub bass, but halfway between sub bass and mid bass, just bass. I guess. So with open earbuds, it's mainly things like the low end from instrumentation and vocals that come across quite well here on the E-Open. With a lot of earbuds, they do struggle. The mids here are solid, so vocals come through clear and natural, and you're getting pretty nice treble here with a little bit of sparkle and some nice detail. The Tozo Open and Bose Ultra Open do push out a slightly fuller and richer sound when it comes to bass and treble though. Now we'll talk about those high volumes above 60%, closer to like 80%. This is where the E-Open starts to fall behind slightly. So as soon as you start going past 60% volume, the bass starts coming down quite a bit. When you get to 80%, it gets dialed down quite a lot. So at those high volumes, it's mainly going to be a little bit of mid bass, mids and treble. The mid and treble detail still retains quite well, and there's still a little bit of punch with the bass when it comes to kick drums. And again, instrumentation and vocals still has a pretty rich sound. Still with this pretty noticeable reduction in bass, they are one of the better sounding earbuds at high volumes, so they're getting an 8.5 out of 10. The three buds with a 9.5 though really do separate themselves, especially when it comes to bass. Now I normally don't focus on bass this much, but with an open earbud, you really appreciate how nice it is to have a rich bass response with an in-ear earbud. So we need all that we can get on these open earbuds. So you might be thinking, why don't you just turn up the bass in the EQ? Now you can do this, but this is really only going to retain at those lower volumes below 60%, because the more you EQ the buds, your overall volume gets brought down by about 2 clicks. Any change you make when it comes to bass, you're not really going to notice it because you have to go a little bit higher in your volume percentage and the DSP is going to kick in, bring that bass down. Again, this is to reduce distortion. So this has to happen, but I'm looking for the most minimal amount of this. But like I said at the start of this explanation, my large ears are going to massively affect the sound. Like if I just push the buds ever so slightly down, that's going to bring it closer to my ear canal, and I'm getting a much fuller sound. And the three buds that I have with a score of 9.5 all allow me to adjust the earbud close to my ear canal. The Tozo Ultra Open have a pretty cool adjustment where I can get them right into my ear canal. The Bose Ultra Open, I can of course adjust them lower down in my ear. And the One More Fit S50 use sort of like an open ear tip. So again, I'm able to get that sound straight into my ear canal. So this is just something to keep in mind. It's really just a downside of open earbuds. Basically, if you have large ears like me, you need some adjustment or a different style to get the bud close to your ear canal. So just the downside of having giant ears. But that wraps up all 10 categories. And before we go into the final score, this scoring doesn't mean much because certain categories are going to matter more to you. That's why I created my scoring spreadsheet, free to download, linked below. On there you get every score, notes for each score, the specifications tab, and a call quality tab. And the personalized scoring is easy. Just fill out a number in the importance column, and that'll multiply the entire category. 0 to get rid of it, 2 to double it, 5 to 5x it, and that'll change the total score for all the earbuds. But now the final scores are in, and the Nothing E-Open finishes in first place with a score of 88.5 out of 100. So they've come in first place, but does that mean they're right for you? Well, it really depends on what you're looking for. If you want a fuller sound at those high volumes and you still want the best all-round earbud, I'd recommend going for the One More Fit S50, or the Tozo Open at half the price are another solid option. It really depends on your preferences, so let me know in the comments what you think is going to work best for you. But we can't deny Nothing has been killing it lately when it comes to value with their earbuds. So be sure to check out my Nothing E and EA review right here. 2 of the best value earbuds you can get right now. So check that out. Thanks for tuning in, stay picky, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.